Thanks.
Say uncle everyone, etc. Bye.
Okay. So, it should be live now. Hello everyone, my name is Catalyst. I'm gonna be running Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time any %. And get the time ready in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, yeah. You guys have seen the early game of this game several times already. There's not much going on, honestly, until I get the actual dagger so I can zip.
Do you think I felt regret as I
And I'll
gazed
talk
upon
about
the
zips a little
structure
bit later.
Or at least humility at the speed with which a world can be transformed from a good world
So,
into a hell.
in the first few seconds, actually in the first 3 seconds of the run, I do the first trick, which is an extended rewind. Not rewind, sorry, wall run. And I can grab a ledge that normally you're not able to grab. Like that. Nice. I got the slow motion there, even though I didn't want to get it. Whatever. Okay, now I'm gonna be rolling. At some parts I'm gonna be normally running at the other parts. That's because... well, normally running actually has like an acceleration, and rolling doesn't. But the top speed of running is actually, you know, higher than rolling. So yeah.
Many men that day sought to win honor and glory on the battlefield. But
This
their
furniture,
failures
you should
and
normally
their
destroy it
successes
by
and
getting your sword out and slashing it. You can just wall run on the wall and destroy that. That way. It's a little bit faster.
I would win my father's praise, not by killing, but by being the first to find the Maharaja's treasure vault and the wonders within.
Okay, so here I jump down, so then I have to, you know, get down these blocks normally. Now this is a longer part of movement, so I'm gonna just run. It's better than rolling the whole time. Now, what you might find interesting is that most of the runners that run this game actually use controller, and then when they do zips, they use the keyboard and the mouse, because zips are pretty damn inconsistent on controller. I am one of... oh, what? That was interesting. Anyway, I am one of the few guys that actually run on keyboard almost the whole time, except for a few parts where I use the controller. Like right now, for example, I'm using a controller because it's actually easier to do these movement things on a controller than on a keyboard. And in a little bit, I'll be doing dagger ear laser skip, which is also a lot easier to set up on controller. Yes, Kribben uses keyboard. I said one of the few runners that do this.
And there it lay, just out of reach, the dagger of time. There was a treasure.
So that's actually the dagger we're supposed to get.
A trophy of our victory. If I could only get there.
Here, normally you would have to like wall run on the wall, and then jump on this platform. You can just jump straight, you know, diagonally like this. Now coming up is going to be the dagger jump, dagger early. Saves quite a bit of time, and I might fail it, so please don't hate me if I do. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay, I didn't fail it. Good stuff. So now we're actually backtracking a little bit. That's why... you kidding me? This happens. Okay, I knew this was gonna happen. Okay, we good though. We good. So, we are backtracking. That's why the concrete floor is kind of weird and just drops when it really shouldn't. And now I'm gonna be failing the dagger. Great. Hold on, let me get this, then I'll continue to talk. Thank you. Anyway, so that we are backtracking now, the stuff here gets kind of weird. And there's the dagger, right here. Who needs the dagger, right? You don't have to even pick it up. That's the coolest thing. Now that we're coming from this direction, the game, because we hit a certain trigger, thinks that we actually picked it up. Gonna do a little wall run here. Saves like almost no time, but it's pretty cool. And we're gonna get this cutscene here that is normally supposed to be here after you pick up the dagger. Now the only difference with this is that the dagger now won't have any sand. So I need to kill 3 enemies. Because I need to do 3 zips before picking up the next sand cloud. Now, very quickly on what a zip is. It's pretty much overloading the rewind memory with enough little movements. It doesn't matter how long the movements are, the only thing that matters is the amount. Now, when you overload the memory, anything that you do before the overload gets accelerated. And when I say accelerated, I mean hell of a lot accelerated. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is actually a no input zip. I'm just gonna zip those steps and I'm gonna zip past this door like this. Just screw fighting enemies. Next zip is a sword zip. That's the first input zip of the run, if I can set it up properly. And here you see I'm not doing keyboard steps. That's because binding oh wow, that's kind of weird. Binding movement to mouse wheel lets you do these little inputs really quickly. Okay, so normally I wouldn't be picking up the sand cloud that's over here, but I have to do it because I kind of screwed up. Screwed up the aim on that zip, so I had to redo it. Okay, now coming up, I'm gonna attempt once one of the hardest zips in the game, just to show you how zips can actually be complicated. I'm gonna pick up a checkpoint here and see if I can get this. I'll be really happy if I can. And I missed just by a little bit. As you saw, it was a combination of 3 side rolls, and the problem with side rolls is the fact that sometimes they can be inconsistent. You know, you end up in a different place than you would the other time. You know, so what happened there was pretty much a bunch of inconsistency, or maybe I just suck. I don't know. The zip failed. I hit the right triggers that I had to hit, but I ended up very close to the edge and actually dropped. So, there used to be some zips back in the days over here. I can't really remember them anymore. So I'm just gonna do this the usual casual way. And this is the place where we were supposed to land. So I did lose a lot of time. And now I don't have to pick this sand cloud up because I have rewinds. Another zip coming up here. This is actually far more simple. Now another interesting mechanic that I should talk about that's present in Sands of Time and not in any other game, I'm dying here by the way to load the next area, is the fact that you can fast rewind and slow rewind in this game. So if you just keep on rewinding without holding a movement key, you slow rewind. And slow rewind zips are like, let's say, the normal distance, right? Let's pick the sand cloud up. Just to make sure. Hold on, I need to. So what you see me doing here is keyboard steps because it's really hard to set up a mouse wheel here. Anyway, what I wanted to complete, like the thought that I wanted to complete, is that if you hold the movement key while rewinding, you get what we call the fast rewind, and that pretty much halves the distance. Oh, come on, can you please roll on? Okay, whatever. You pretty much get your distance halved in the zip. So we use that quite a bit throughout the run. This is another zip coming up. Hopefully I don't fail it. Okay, I didn't. Good. Yeah, so now I need to backtrack a little bit to this ladder to hit a trigger to load the next areas. Then I can rewind back because I only need 3 cents at this point. Oh, what? Sorry, that was kind of wrong. Now, I want to talk about the different zips actually, about the different inputs you can do in this game. So obviously jumping accelerates you to the air, but the problem with it is if you hold the rewind for too long while doing a jump zip, you actually die from the fall damage, so you need to time it pretty well. It's not as easy, but it's nothing hard here. It's much harder in the other games of the trilogy, because here you actually have some camera cues that help you do it. Another thing you see me doing is jumping and slashing a sword, like this. This is a down zip. It pretty much lowers the height that you land in. Simple as that. Now, I'm gonna redo this because I kinda aimed weirdly. Roll zip, just a huge distance boost. Fast zip it. Now, you are wondering, what the hell just happened? Because I just zipped out of the tower, and I'm here in the next area of the game. But what I did is hit a checkpoint trigger, and if you die, you load the checkpoint, and you end up being here. Now, the interesting thing about checkpoints is that you need to actually hit the trigger. You can't just go through it. You can't zip through it. You can't fall through it. You need to hit them perfectly. So here, it's just another no input zip. Now I need to die to actually load Farah here. And I need to die to actually load the next areas properly. So yeah, you can see she's here. Infamous Farah that runs most of our runs. And now, these little movements, you see that I'm doing like a bigger movement and little movements. The little movements is what I call the walk wheel. And if you do too many of the movements, you kind of, start zipping earlier, and then the movements get boosted, so your zip gets inconsistent, obviously. But if you do the walk wheel, which is just scrolling the wheel while actually holding the walk button, it doesn't get boosted as much, and you don't get that inconsistency in your zip. Now here I need to zip through this room, and I'm trying to end on this platform, so I do a down zip as well. Now here I'm gonna do a torpedo jump, and what that allows me to do is actually mitigate the fall damage, because it starts counting a little bit later than a normal jump would do. So normally if you jump there, you would die, but because of the torpedo, I actually didn't die. Pretty cool. Okay, so here we just zip through the wall, not a big deal, because doing some more complicated zips would be a little bit problematic. Okay, here I run into this cutscene. I get a game over, because Farah is not here. She should be. And I'm gonna zip straight from here with this weird ass zip. It uses boosting actual keyboard steps, which is this little movement, to hit some kind of a trigger. We don't fully understand the zip. It's really weird, but it's working. It loads the next areas. I drop here. All good. Yeah, so This is just another simple sword zip to get through the wall. I should start taking damage, actually. I need to take damage throughout the run. So, there are ones to actually load this area. Kind of, you could see it, the pillars, or whatever it's called, the wooden things were black. When I hit the trigger, they actually, you know, got back to normal. Okay, here's another zip. Pretty simple one. I just have to fast rewind this dagger and then slow rewind the jump. I actually don't have to slow rewind the jump, but obviously it's a lot easier to cancel the rewind properly and not die if you do a slow rewind of the jump. Okay, so here, this is just another simple zip. I'm gonna take damage here because later on it's in the game it's actually gonna be useful. I need to die at one point in the game, and if I'm at full health, it's gonna take me a little bit longer to actually die. So yeah. So now there are the scarabs. We don't give a crap about them. We just run around. And now this is like a little bit of a problematic part of the game, because Farah can get stuck here on these scarabs, and when that happens, it's not pretty, because you need to go back, kill all those scarabs like an idiot. Let's hope. Oh, she's here. Good. So she hasn't ruined this run yet. This is just another very simple zip. Can't really fail much on this. Zip into baths. Nice. And now I'm gonna have to wait for Farah a little bit, otherwise I'm gonna get a game over. I need to open up this crack, and I need to wait for her to get into the crack. Which is just what happened. I should have taken damage here as well. Whatever. Okay, and coming up right now is probably the hardest part of the run. Not yet. This is another pretty simple zip. I need to do keyboard steps here, because setting up the mouse wheel here, because of the camera, is kind of weird. So, for the sake of consistency, I just do the set amount of inputs with a keyboard. Now, here is another zip. Pretty easy one. It has 3 down zips in it. I fast rewind 2 of them. Okay, end up here. Bye, Hinafu, thanks for the good luck. And now this is a very interesting zip, because there's a trigger to load the next area right behind us, and the next area is right in front of us. So I actually need to go forwards, do a backflip, like this, hit the trigger, and then go back again. So I load this area and can continue. So with this zip, I need to hit a certain trigger. It will be pretty well visible when I hit it, because the objects here disappear. Like that. And now coming up is like one of the hardest zips in the game. It's called the 4 sand zip. And you'll see why it's called one of the hardest zips in the game in a second. It's got a pretty complicated setup. I might be able to get it. I did. So that's good. So that's one of the 3 hardest zips out of the way. Now coming up very shortly is another one that's pretty hard. And during the practice today, I was actually able to, you know, fail it more than the 4 sands. So, let's see. We go here. Now this drawbridge is kind of, you know, not letting me pass. But instead of just zipping through it, I'm gonna hit several triggers and zip all the way somewhere else. Let's hope I get it right. And I did, so that's good. That's 2 of the hardest zips in the game in a row. Whew, I'm actually happy I got them.
That's not.
Okay, I need to die here to load some stuff. Coming up is a pretty cool zip. That lets me skip the whole bridge that's on top of this area. If you saw Toka's No Major Glitches run, you saw the bridge. I just skipped. Oh, I failed.
No.
I failed because I was talking. I blame it on that. We good though. We good. This is not a game-breaking zip, thank God. Oh, I need to set it up again. Jesus, I'm losing time. That's not good. So the first time, I fast rewound at the wrong time, so I didn't get enough distance. Kind of weird.
I'm up here. Down
But we good. We good. All saved. All good.
Come on, I'll show you.
Some of these jumps are kind of harder for me because I'm using the keyboard, as I said.
Here I am.
While on the controller, it's actually quite easier. But I don't want to be swapping between the keyboard and the controller all the time, so I just use the keyboard. And now coming up, you might have seen this already in Toka's 100% run. Woo! Where's the prince? What the hell just happened? Oh, I need to skip a cutscene here. Give me a second. Okay, so what happened right now is that there's a cutscene in this game
I know where
where
I am.
Prince
Of course.
rips
Finding
off
my way to
his
get back
sleeve,
from here should
and the game is looking for these textures right now, and it cannot find them because the cutscene didn't really happen. So it just decides to, you know, make the whole prince go away. That acting, yeah. This is another pretty simple zip. It gets me to the caves here. Now coming up is also one of the hardest zips that requires me to do some precise, slow, fast rewind switching. It also includes 3 down zips. So give me a second. Plus it's harder because I cannot actually see myself. Oops! Crap. Well, what happened there was I probably mistimed the stuff and I ended up being a little bit too low, so I hit the texture. It's fine though, we'll try again. We all good this time. Never world record, yeah. Go get it yourself, man. Just kidding. It's hard, man. Just so you guys know, I'm not using any pussy strats for marathons, I'm going with the world record route, with the current fastest route there is for this game. There are no safety precautions, except for me having some backup saves in case a crash happens, which it could. Yeah, that's not something that special in this game, you know? So here's just another zip. You've seen a bunch of these already. And now I need to get into this safe, and I need to kill myself, you know? But there's no checkpoint around here, so I need the safe,
I'll start the story from here next time.
and then kill myself. I will respawn here, and I need to kill myself to load the next area, obviously. Otherwise, I will be killing myself. Or maybe if I fell stuff, which, as you can see, I'm actually doing, but yeah. Family show. I'm sorry, please don't ban me. Okay, so here is actually a danger of crash. It could happen, and it's not random. This all depends on me. If I fail this zip and I hit the wrong trigger, the game will crash, so please do not crash on me, Sense of Time. I love you. I would never cheat on you with Warrior Within, man. I would never do that. Please. Seems like Sense of Time is a non-believer.
No.
I probably cannot world record anymore. Anyway, this was like my mistake. I was too scared of the crash. Crap! Dang it! I need to fast rewind a little bit sooner. Please, work, game. Game! Okay. 3 times the charm, right? That's what you say. Let's do this. This zip is easy. Why did I screw it up? Oh. Okay. So. Now this is just a zip that skips a cutscene and covers a lot of distance. That's why it's actually double dagger and a roll. And I wanted it to be fast. So, like fast rewind. Wow, nice. Nice, Prince. What are you doing? What are you doing, Prince? Why is he drinking when I have the sword out? Also, why am I clicking the right click when it's 2 daggers? Wow, that's a pretty hard brain fart. Yes, in case you guys are wondering, I actually hold the world record for this game, even though it doesn't really seem like it right now. But this zip is really cool, actually, because it hits triggers that are like on top of the map, on top of the level, also nice. And now coming up is, after this zip, we have the hardest zip in the game, actually. So let's see if I can nail it. So far, I nailed pretty much everything that's hard. So let me actually focus right now. Something wrong with the setup. Give me a second, need to try it again. Neat. Let's see. So, we just got it. There's no jump dagger. There has never been a jump dagger. I have no clue what you're talking about, Asko. Now, why that zip is actually that hard? It requires some precise timing with the jump and sword slash. It's not like you jump and you immediately slash. You need to time it pretty much perfectly. Nice spoiler. Banned. Okay, so now I need to turn this lever for some reason, because it does something to the triggers that I do not fully understand. But there's a lot of stuff I don't understand about these games. So another simple zip, just aim to the right place, and then go. We need to hit the right trigger, obviously, so that's why we need to aim to the right place. Now this is another place where I can actually crash, so hopefully it doesn't happen. The save that I hear is actually quite a bit away from this place. And we crashed! Nice! Oh damn! So yeah, Eraser is a god. I'm gonna use this safety save that he created for me. I have the same amount of sand tanks that I would normally have. I haven't crashed there in a while, actually. Okay, I'm not gonna pick this sand cloud, so I have the right amount of sand tanks. I'm gonna try it again. If I crash again, I'm gonna cry.
I'm coming.
It's nothing about the power settings. I didn't run today. I didn't crash there. Don't know why it happened. It's fine though. It's pretty much like this is so funny. Actually, this run. I'm managing to get all the hard stuff, and I'm failing the easy stuff. Yeah, it's fun so far. I hope, at least for me, it is. Okay, so let's try the zip again. Observatory, please don't fail me. Oh, that was closer than I would like it to be, but yeah, okay. We actually don't even know a reason, like why these crashes occur. It can be very, very random. And we didn't crash this time. See? Random stuff. That hasn't been a marathon where I haven't crashed yet. Okay, coming up is a pretty cool zip that was found by a guy called BL. Pretty cool guy. Not in the community anymore, unfortunately. And I'm gonna zip actually falling from this pole while going forwards. Going forwards with the sword, and then I'm gonna zip the pole thing like that. So I actually, you
Let's see
know,
where this corridor goes.
fall down a little bit, obviously.
That didn't.
So now I had to die, obviously,
Wait,
to load the
let's
next
see where this
area.
corridor goes.
Now this, right now, might seem like a simple zip, and it is, but it's one of the first zips with a side roll that we have had, actually, because it took us a while to actually figure out that side rolls are a thing in this game. We can pretty much, you know, thank Robbie for that, epic dude guy. Pretty sure you've seen some of his runs. He was the first one to implement it into a zip, and then pretty much shitstorm went off, and yeah, here we are now doing these crazy zips all the time. Ooh, this might kill me.
No.
So, I died in a place where I shouldn't be dying.
Here I am. I can't open the gate.
It was, but it wasn't consistent. It still isn't, but this is like pretty much the first one where we've used it in a consistent manner. Yes, I did overstep. Walk wheel didn't really work. Okay. Should still be fine though. Like, I lost some time. Yeah, whatever. I spawned scarabs. We all love scarabs. Not again, especially at Prince, as you can hear. See? I love scarabs. And they bite me anyway. Okay, so. Here I'm doing the zip. You might be like, why the hell is he zipping here? Like, there's no obstacles. And this is to actually skip a trigger. That will allow me to actually do cool zip here very, very soon. I'm gonna drop down here, pick up the sand cloud because I don't have sand anymore. Then I'm gonna wall run on this wall. That's just for setup. This is again a very basic zip, just upwards and then 2 forward movements. Sounds racist, nice. Yeah, they are undodgeable. They should play rugby, honestly. Or American football. Okay, so I zipped here. Now I need to go back to the sledge to hit a checkpoint. Not checkpoint, sorry. A loading trigger. And now there should be 2 cutscenes coming up. But because I did that trick with the zip, I'm just gonna fall down here and fall straight to the second cutscene. And yeah, now we watch this amazing cutscene. I don't know why the sounds are not really loaded properly. It's because we fly throughout the entire game. Maybe that's why. And coming up is a really cool zip. Back in the days with Prison, we had a lot of problems actually. It was like the hardest area of the game.
I had never set foot inside.
But as the time flew by, we understood zips more and more. We started using a mouse wheel. I found the M wheel and the walk wheel, and yeah, things kind of escalated from there. And the time got from 1 hour, 20 minutes all the way to like 43 minutes of the world record right now. So this zip requires, again, some precision. I need to switch the fast and slow rewind again. And yeah, so that's good. Now this area is also crash heavy if you don't know how to zip here properly. But I actually have a kind of a setup that's really good.
Close enough to touch. Where were the men whose trade it had been to apply the question, to extract the answer?
So we hit several triggers in this room. I might be too far. I'm not. Okay, we should be good. Ladder is here. Everything's loaded properly. Because if you hit the wrong triggers or you hit them in the wrong order, you actually, you know, crash the game. That's not a nice sight, as you can actually tell. Okay, so high bats, buy bats, nice. Now, enemies here, so we can't really do inputs, so we're just gonna roll like this, zip away from these cheeky breaky enemies. Need to pick up the sand cloud. And now we're gonna get the Farrak dance. Check it out, she's a pretty good dancer. Woo! That was just a sneak peek. If you pay me enough money, I'll give you for a Farrak. Okay, so this elevator, casually, is quite a bit of a hard run, of a hard area. We can actually get up here with 3 upward zips and just skip the whole elevator. It's pretty hard casually. It's pretty hard in zipless. Yeah. Now this zip is pretty interesting. Because I just fall to avoid. But hey, there's some kind of a thing down there. Oh, it's the tomb where the cutscene is. And you hit the tomb, you hit the cutscene. Pretty cool stuff. And
A tomb.
now you get to watch this cutscene again.
You were there. The dagger was in your hand. Why did you hesitate? You think you're cleverer than everybody, but you're just like the rest of them. Those
I hope you guys aren't bored of this cutscene yet. You still have to actually
destroy.
watch it
Why
tomorrow.
did I trust you?
In the any% Zip Plus grand finale race between 7 Erases 7 and Epic Duke. You don't want to miss that.
Oh,
Sorry,
where are you?
I'm right here.
Hold my hand.
And you can see the devs go really lazy. Like, you have a cutscene, and they just, don't even do the cutscene. They just get a texture of sand going from the top of the screen to the bottom,
No,
and you get to watch this for like a minute and a half.
all that's happened is my doing. I wanted.
Skipping
my
this
freedom.
cutscene would save like 3 minutes. Pretty
I
crazy.
brought this on us.
You are brave and good. If this tomb is to be ours, at least the dagger will be buried.
So the funny story about the current world record, by the way, as Eraser was pointing out, was that I had a pretty good run, and then the last fight came up, and it's a place where no one except Sphere MJ actually dies, and
There must be
now
some
it's
way out
not
here.
only Sphere, it's me as well, because I died there. I lost the world record. I lost minute 40 seconds.
My mother
At the
told me
last
to say
fight.
the word.
That's like one of the easiest things in the game,
All I
and
had to do
yeah, I was
speak
pretty
the
sad
word,
after.
And a magic door would open.
Shut.
I've never told that to anybody.
I can see why. It's the most childish thing I've ever heard of.
Dude, it's okay, Sphere. We're in this
What was the word?
together, you know?
Kakolukia.
I died on Vizier.
Lukia.
So have I, though. And many, many times.
Didn't you? Farah?
Oh. Now, another great part of the game, whoever created these stairs was a piece of shit. I'm sorry if any kids are watching and are offended by my language. Because you just keep on running here for like 30 seconds. Never ending stairs. Really great for a speedrun. Now there's a checkpoint here. I'm thinking right now, should I take it or not? Let's just take it. There's still WarioWare thing coming up, so let's take this checkpoint.
Where are you?
You're grounded. Nice.
Isn't it beautiful?
Okay, so we take this checkpoint in this cutscene.
Where are you? Farah?
Okay, we do another zip. To get out of here, straight to the tomb. Normally you would have to do the annoying puzzle with the weird doors, going through them and stuff. Okay, we have to kill this enemy to get his sand. There are only 4 zips left. Game. Now,
Oh no.
I'm taking the controller back into my hands, and I'm gonna be doing a controller-only skip here. That's actually faster than doing any of the zips. This one is not controller-only yet, but I skipped these doors. They're unkillable because we skipped the second sword. It's normally supposed to, destroy walls. Then I'm gonna do this little fun thing here, if I actually manage to do it. That's not right. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. So I skipped a cutscene with this. Now it's not that the cutscene itself is a time loss, obviously. It's the fact that if I run into a cutscene now, I lose the dagger, so I lose the ability to zip. You don't really want to do that, right? The zips are life, so. And if I fail a zip here, I'm gonna get, yeah, pretty much fucked because I'm gonna lose my dagger and rip late game. This zip is kind of precise. A second. I need to hit certain triggers here. See if I hit him. I did. Awesome. Now coming up is a really cool zip that skips a lot of platforming. And it looks cool as well. So this is just a little setup for it. Aim a little bit to the right. Okay, now to this ladder, lower the checkpoint, not checkpoint, a trigger. Then I zip up here. And I need to die to load the next area. Fortunately, this little cliff here is a checkpoint. Now I need to do a landscape view here. That cancels slow motion, because every time you do a new thing in the game, like new animation, you get a slow motion, and we haven't done any pillar jumps so far. So yeah, now coming up is the last fight. This is where my best run ever died. Not died, but got a lot worse. And after that, there's only one thing left, and that's the boss. Best moment of the game. Farah, beloved by all the zipless runners, actually dies. What a touching moment. Also, the landing, you know, physically makes a lot of sense, right? So now, Prince gets mad and decides to kill my run. Okay. So the only way to kill these enemies, or the most consistent way, is to just tornado of the walls. Because we have the super powerful sword now, because of the cutscene. The cutscene gives it to us. We wouldn't normally have it because we didn't pick it up. I one-shot these guys. But that guy's still bugged. Can you stop aiming at him? Ah! Dodge this attack, pretty cool. And I want to get away from this hole, because I can fall there. Die. Shit. Sometimes you can get 2 guys in one hit, sometimes you can even get 3 guys in one hit. Sometimes your normal attack goes through and you kill them with a left click. Okay, he took it down, took the enemy down. Can take this and see, nice double kill. Is that the last enemy? Seems like it. What is he doing? Okay, we kill him, pull away the sword. And now this is like the sickest boss of the game coming up. I might fail it though.
I'll start the story from here next time. Bravely I had fought and slain my enemies.
Be prepared on the time. In like 2 minutes. Because I'm gonna fail.
The desert sands
So
themselves
don't blink, please. Otherwise you might actually miss the
will
boss.
bring back the dead.
So, got the Vizier here.
For your own safety, I suggest you flee.
And yeah, we don't really care about this guy, right? So,
I will handle this intruder.
yeah, you can handle whatever the fuck you want.
But today,
Prepared on time. And time right now. Okay. So, this was Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. And if you enjoyed the run, you can check out my channel. Just shameless self-plug. And coming up is gonna be a race between me and Matma23 in Prince of Persia Warrior within any percent. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be more fun than this, I would say. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the run. And see you in a moment.